I've spent the last week in Davos, Switzerland at the annual World Economic Forum meeting. Um, I've never been here before. It was quite an amazing week in a lot of ways. President Trump came, issued his demands for Greenland. President Zelensky was here. Obviously, Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, came and delivered a really moving speech. And as I've been kind of processing everything that happened, it's been making me think a lot about the relationship between peace and trade. World War I and World War II happened almost right after one another. And so Europe had just been really devastated. And a lot of countries at that point were just looking for a way to guarantee that war would not break out yet again. So shortly after World War II, a coalition of countries came together, including the US, to form the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. And the idea here was that if countries were trading together, they would be way less likely to go to war. So kind of like make trade, not war. That was the philosophy behind it. And that eventually evolved into the WTO, the World Trade Organization. And this has basically been the way of the world ever since World War II. Freer and freer trade, more and more globalization. And this has brought enormous prosperity to the world. We've seen goods all over the world get cheaper. Quality of life started to rise. Now, there were some very important casualties here. A lot of industries were moved overseas. People saw jobs lost. Towns were devastated. This did not come without a cost, but in general, free trade was very good to the economies of the world. It was especially good to the US, which became the largest economy in the world. Now, though, things seem to be moving in a different direction. President Trump has used tariffs as a bargaining chip over and over again, a lot because the US consumer is such a valuable thing. It's one of the most valuable economic forces in the world right now. And this does have really serious implications. If countries aren't bound together by trade, if the economic prosperity of one isn't tied to the economic prosperity of another, it becomes a lot easier to start a conflict. Also, a smaller economy. For instance, 50 years ago, Russia's economy was much bigger than China's economy. That has completely changed. Obviously, now China has the second biggest economy in the world, and Russia's economy is way, way down the list. And one of the main reasons for this is trade. China opened up, began a really robust trade relationship with countries all over the world. Russia's economy largely clamped down. It also is likely to mean things get more expensive because with globalization came much cheaper prices as production and other things were moved all over the world. So we may see prices rise. We may see the chances of conflict rise. We may see smaller economies. But it does seem clear that the US is moving in a more isolated direction, not just even in terms of tariffs and trade, but in terms of other things as well.